Alright. I guess since I'm trying to appease Natsuki, let's go with her first. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I shared mine with her first. Well... Okay, well let's start with the things I don't like. Okay, that's good. First of all, yes? Natsuki rereads my poem. Never mind. I don't feel like giving you my opinion. Then what's the point of sharing in the first place? I wrote this when I could have been doing other things, like watching anime. In fact, remember how I said I wanted to read your poems? That's what I had in mind when writing this. I was thinking about you. I want to help you feel comfortable enough to share yours. Like Monica said. Well, I would be more comfortable sharing my poem if yours was really bad. But it is really bad. You should actually see the words I put into it. You were supposed to show me some dumb poem and make me go, "Ha, well it's great, but let me show you what real literature looks like." And you went and ruined it. I hope you're happy. So, in other words, you're saying you liked it. Natsuki's retort gets caught in her throat. You're so... You don't understand anything, do you? I already told you. You don't have to go announcing it to the world like you're all self-important. Pretty sure you never actually said that. I say that mostly to myself. Natsuki must really hate me or something. I can't figure out if it's a win or a loss that she liked my poem. With the tsundere, it's complicated. In any case, you still need to show me yours, right? Fine, I guess. Only because Monica will make me if I don't. Okay, eagles can fly. I might probably just skip over this, unless you're familiar. Okay, yeah. I told you you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yeah, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. Yeah, her poem's pretty much about, like, giving up, sort of, out of frustration. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set up a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Okay, let's go with Sayori next. Just head on down the line. This is a good poem, Daniel. Are you sure it's your first time? Well, technically not, but you don't know that. Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it so seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy just that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Daniel. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know. Oh my goodness. Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do. I'm still remembering the original game, and this is just hitting me. Thanks, Sayori. You'll see why. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Yeah, I'm just here to hit on the girls. Well, essentially, yeah, that's what it is. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah. And I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm gonna hold you to that then. Yay. Now, you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. Well, we'll see about that. Okay, dear sunshine. If you're not finished reading, you can go ahead and pause the video. Because I've read this aloud so many times. And my throat's kind of dry. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? She totally did. No. Just a little bit. You can answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah, you did, and it's a pretty, actually, good poem. Kind of foreshadowing, in a way. Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It just came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school, probably running with the toast in your mouth. It's bad to skip breakfast. Now she's all pouty. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time, I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Okay, well, I'm actually gonna go with Monica next. Let's see. Hi, Daniel. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. And by the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Daniel. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. I like it, Daniel. Really? Even though it's just 20 random words? It's a lot cuter than I expected. Yeah, because I went with Natsuki. She says something different depending on whoever you go for. Ah, jeez. No. It kind of makes me think of something Natsuki would write. And that's because it's meant for her. And she's a good writer too. So take that as a compliment. If you say so. Yep. By any chance, have you read anything by Shel Silverstein? Maybe a long time ago. I don't think I've even read anything by Shel Silverstein, even in high school. He's famous for telling all kinds of stories in just a few simple words. His poems can be funny, endearing, or even sad. And sometimes they're only a few lines long. They might even feel like they're written for kids. But if you think about them, they can express views of the world that would apply to anybody. I see. So in a sense, kind of similar to Natsuki's poem. So you're saying that Natsuki is kind of like that? Sort of. Maybe she's not an expert, but you probably won't find much filler in her poems. They might be easy to write, but they're super challenging to get the meaning through. So I can see why it would be your kind of poem to explore. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. And that's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little biased toward their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. You know what you're saying, don't you? I know that look. I'm watching you. I know what you are. Oh, man. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. I'm a president. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Okay, let's see, it's the Hole in the Wall poem. Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah. And of course, if you know the story of the game, you can pretty much tell that this is more foreshadowing. Because she really is on the other side looking in. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. Well, what was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany. Yeah, Something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that, because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Okay, I'm not gonna even bother taking notes anymore. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Or in this case, if you're typing, same thing. And at least you're not married to the words that you put on that paper. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. And just for the hell of it, Sailor Moon says, thanks for listening. Okay, gee, I wonder who I can go with. See, I'm sorry I picked you last. I love you. Okay, no, I'm being stupid at this point. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes by. More than enough time for her to finish reading. Oh. Sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine. Don't force yourself. I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah. Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it. So it's that bad. No! Did I just raise my voice? Oh, I'm so sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes, and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine. I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing that I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form fit the two together. So in other words, like they're mismatching it. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There's so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice, and learning by example, and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Except for Natsuki. Natsuki can be a little biased, though. Biased? How? Well... Never mind. I shouldn't be talking about other people like that. Especially behind their back. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Maybe all of the above. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her. And I mean, it probably is. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Okay, Ghost Under the Lights, which is not about an actual ghost. It's mostly foreshadowing. Okay, well, you can go ahead and pause it if you want. Alright. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. Well, your handwriting is so pretty I can't actually read it that well. But I'm not gonna say that. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is very pretty. So pretty that I can't comprehend it. Huh? That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Are you saying that just because she's a goth girl? Well, I don't know if some people say that she is, but I don't know if I should consider her that. Actually, this story isn't about a ghost at all, Daniel. Yeah, it's not. Really? I must have totally missed the point. You sure did. She's crying out for help. Actually, well, not really. Or what am I saying? Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all.